FBI agents are going through the scene of the Tops Friendly Market shooting rampage in Buffalo, New York. 10 people were killed and 3 others were injured. 11 of the victims were black. The feds are building a case against the suspect, Peyton Gendron, who authorities say had previously made a threat at his high school. Gendron had no further contact with law enforcement after he was checked out of the hospital after that threat. Investigators are also looking into everyone he was associated with before he drove to Buffalo and references in his social media post. Meantime, the district attorney wants to remind everyone that suspect's innocent until proven guilty.
I understand that there's the narrative out there that there is so much evidence, it's overwhelming, this guy is guilty, this guy did it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I understand that court of opinion. I understand emotions are high. I understand the rawness of this matter.
President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden plan to be in Buffalo tomorrow. Tonight, the U.S. Department of Justice is investigating this shooting as a hate crime and an act of racially motivated violent extremism. Locally, officials in Providence are about to hold a news conference at the Nonviolence Institute tonight to denounce and condemn the racist behavior that occurred in New York. 12 News reporter Alexandra Leslie is in Providence with that reaction. Alex?
Rhode Island's Legislative Black and Latino Caucus issued a statement on the Buffalo shooting, saying that as more details are learned about the incident, that there is more work to do on preventative mental health treatment and common sense gun laws. I also spoke with 12 News law enforcement analyst Colonel Stephen O'Donnell about how Rhode Island State Police work behind the scenes to prevent these kind of attacks. New York's governor said it's not clear if the suspect should have been prevented from being sold a gun in New York State after reports emerged that the gunman was once investigated over something he had written in high school. Former Rhode Island State Police Colonel Stephen O'Donnell says Rhode Island's red flag law is designed to keep guns out of the hands of people who could be dangerous.
Now, if that happens where there was a red flag situation where he couldn't buy them, he could still buy them on the street.
O'Donnell says while these kinds of tragedies are hard to outright prevent, law enforcement and others can work to minimize the risks and damage.
So in Buffalo, you had a security guard, retired policeman, who engaged him and unfortunately heroically lost his life, but probably losing his life prevented more people from dying.
O'Donnell says in response to Saturday's mass shooting to expect what he calls soft targets like grocery stores or other places where people gather to put new protocols in place.
They hardened their environments with glass, from glass to preventive measures to steel.
Providence Mayor Jorge Elorza, Public Safety Commissioner Stephen Perry, and leaders from the Nonviolence Institute plan to speak at tonight's event, and the governor will also be in attendance. I'll have more details after that event gets underway, coming up new at 6. Reporting in Providence, Alexandra Leslie, 12 News.
Now, the tragedy in Buffalo, which police say was a racist attack. President Joe Biden plans to visit the city tomorrow, and the 18-year-old accused of the massacre is also due back in court tomorrow.
Buffalo police say they've arrested people threatening copycat-style attacks. And this evening, Providence police, the mayor, and the governor are joining those condemning this act of hate. 12 News reporter Alexandra Leslie joins us now live from the Nonviolence Institute in Providence, where a news conference just wrapped up moments ago. Alex?
Well, Mike and Shannon, tonight we heard from many voices within Rhode Island's community, from the NAACP to the Center for Southeast Asians to the Holocaust Education Center, all saying that they wanted to come together to speak out against what happened in Buffalo collectively. Providence Mayor Jorge Elorza said that the message he and others wanted to get out was that when there's a victim of violence in our own community or across the country, everyone suffers. He also said people should not have access to the kinds of guns designed to kill many people at once. Jim Vincent of NAACP Rhode Island also called the shooting in Buffalo a stain on the country's history, and that the biggest threat domestically is white supremacy.
Anybody that has anything to do with inflaming people that support white supremacy needs to be called out, and called out hard and often. The time of being silent is over. If you're not calling it out, then you're part of the problem. Period. Period. We have to end this whole thing about white supremacy and scapegoating black people. That's all.
And Providence Public Safety Commissioner Stephen Perry says he met with local law enforcement leaders following the shooting in Buffalo and says they are doing everything they can to prevent attacks like this. Reporting live in Providence, Alexandra Leslie, 12 News.